Hey Elsie, welcome to the 12th installment of TribeTV. I'm Sam Miserly.
And I'm Charan Janowski. On this week's episode, we'll be taking a look at teacher slang, talk to Mr. Baranowski about his band,
Talk to some teachers about how they do their finals, and then finish off the episode with another region gem.
Let's kick it over to current news.
Electric vehicles may be the future for the auto industry, and if they are, they may spell the end of many traditional auto jobs. Building a traditional powertrain is the most labor-intensive part of building a car. Building an electric car requires about 30% less labor than building a traditional gasoline-powered car with its engine, fuel system, transmission, and other complex parts, according to the estimates from Ford. GM has closed 3 plants this year. Those cost cuts were designed to free up money for research and development on new cars.
Sushi, salads, and spring rolls across much of the U.S. are being recalled by Fuji Food Products due to possible listeria contamination, the company said in a statement posted by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. The problem was discovered during a routine inspection by the FDA of a company facility in Brockton. Listeria is an organism that can cause serious and sometimes fatal infections in children or elderly people. People may suffer only short-term symptoms such as high fever, severe headache, stiffness, nausea, abdominal pain, and diarrhea.
Now let's take a look at how some teachers are doing their finals this year.
Hello, I am Mrs. Thomas. I am the forensic science teacher. It's that time of year again when we start thinking about finals, so I'm here to talk about the forensics final. Part of the forensics finals is the students have to solve a crime. So they have been learning how to analyze evidence all year long, and on the final they will do that by themselves in order to figure out who they want to arrest to solve the crime. They have to go through all the different labs that they've done, and then they have to use deductive reasoning to figure out who done it. They also have a second final as well where they have the vocab and all the different terms and all the people who were responsible for forensics, but half of the final is going to be solving the crime. If you walk past the library during finals week, you will see the crime scene over there. You can check it out.
The class is basically a project-based class where they are their own independent theater troops. There's 2 groups in every class, and I have 2 classes, so we have 4 groups that put on performances. They either write their own show or they pick a script in December and in May. And they put the whole production together. We have actors, we have directors, we have technicians who do the lighting, the sound, the set, the props, the costumes. So we don't have a test or a written final exam. They start working on these projects second 9 weeks, which is in October, and then they have performances in December. In the spring, it would be they would start working on the shows in March, and then they have performances in May. So they don't have anything test-wise during a finals week, but they do have a final production product.
I wish all my finals were projects.
Now let's see how some teachers pick up our slang.
My heart is racing. I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm taking a test.
Okay, I think vibe check. You know, when someone asks for a vibe check, what's the feeling in the room? You know, what are you guys feeling? You know, can I get a vibe check?
A vibe check? Like how you doing? How's it going?
So I think vibe check means that you're telling your friends to check out this other person because you might think they're cute. So you're like, hey, vibe check, like, is this somebody I should go for?
Capping means you're like lying to people, and like you'll tell someone to like stop capping and like lying to them.
So I think like when you say something's no cap, you're saying that there's like no limit to how brutal it was. Like if something's boring, no cap, it's like boring to like the utmost level. But if you're like, hey, need to put a cap on that, it's like bring it down.
No cap. If something has no cap, I would think it's like at the top, like it exceeds.
It says no cap means like no joke, like are you serious?
Why would you even tell them you're lying?
I would describe the word smacks as really good or like cool, like that's smacks, bro.
Smack to me means, man, that was really good, that's tasty. An example would be like my mom's cooking smacks.
Yeah. Okay, I think I know this one, and it's just basically like anything with food I'm gonna know, and it's just like when a food's really good, you'll say it smacks.
Smack, if something smacks, that's good. You like it?
That macaroni smacked on Thanksgiving.
So I think gas means like you're just gonna do something so brutal, you're gonna be like out of breath. Like you're gonna go up to the 3rd floor on the stairs, you're gonna be like, dude, going to the 3rd floor, gas.
The word gas means something good. Like if I eat something and it tastes real good, it's gas.
This shirt is cool, right?
And this is cool, so this is gas.
It's gas, baby.
Oh, I got you. Like I would be like, oh, I'm eating a turkey sandwich, gas.
Yeah.
Like, gotcha.
That segment was fire.
Now let's kick it over to Josh and Giovanni on Sports Update.
What's up, LC? I'm Josh Burnett.
I'm Giovanni Alcantar.
Welcome back to this installment of Sports Update.
The girls basketball team took a tough loss to the rival Munster Mustangs 43-33 this past Tuesday. They will look to bounce back on Friday night against the Maryville Pirates right here at Lake Central. Be sure to come out and support the Lady Indians.
Speaking of basketball, our boys team started the season off 2-0 with wins over Andrean and South Bend, Washington.
This week's Athlete of the Week, presented by Sweet Frog, goes to Nick Anderson for winning the Indiana Basketball Coaches Association District 1 Player of the Week. Nick Anderson had 66 total points in the wins over Andrean and South Bend, Washington. Sweet Frog can make your party or event a sweet experience.
We sat down with a couple of the boys basketball players to see how they were feeling about this season. Let's check it out.
As a senior, you know, every senior on any team has just that leader type role. You want to continue the tradition of excellence and teach younger kids how things go, how to work hard and everything like that. I mean, I have some individual goals, but I'm trying to focus on the team more this year. I'm trying to win more as a program and try to teach the younger kids all about that.
I'd say I'm most looking forward to playing at Munster, which is kind of like around the Christmas time. The student section usually does a Christmas theme, and that game usually has a lot of hype around it, so I'm looking forward to beating them. I'd say in the off season I've improved in my mobility and just overall quickness because of my ACL injury last year. It was tough rehabbing from that. So playing AU basketball really helped out in that aspect.
My individual goal every year is to improve on defense because that's like my weakness. So like every year, that's just, I try and pride myself on defense and just getting better at that every day. I'd say our team goal first and foremost is to always win a sectional. That's, I would assume, every team's goal, but to win every game, I mean, you gotta just come in thinking, hey, I'm gonna win this game no matter what happens. The most I want to see from the student section would have to be just hype. Bring in as much hyper energy that you can every game, no matter what. Just be as loud as you can because that feeds onto us and just gets us even more energetic when we see you guys as hyped.
A couple of my goals for myself this season would definitely be to improve my jump shot and my defense. During the off season, I've improved on my defense and my shot and definitely my lateral quickness. From the student section, I'd like to see like a lot more energy, you know, just getting everyone out to the game, being supportive, you know, it helps like seeing the crowd out there and everyone getting us, you know, hyped up, and it's a lot of fun when we got a lot of people there and it really gets the team going. I hope to see everyone come out and support us at the games this year.
If you want to check out the boys, they have a big game next Tuesday against Gary Westside. Hope to see you all there.
This Saturday, the wrestling team has the Harvest Classic right here at Lake Central High School. Good luck to the wrestling team and make sure you come out and support the boys.
Congratulations to both our boys and girls swimming and diving teams as they beat Valpo this past Tuesday. Make sure to go out to the Munster Relays this Saturday to see the team.
This weekend, the hockey team will face off against Riley and Culver at Midwest. Good luck to our hockey team. Well, that's it for this week's Sports Update. I'm Giovanni Alcantar.
And I'm Josh Burnett.
See you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Did you know our teacher here at LC plays in a band? Let's go check him out.
The band name is Marrakesh Express, and we're actually a Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young tribute band, meaning that we don't really write a whole lot of our own songs. We do write some songs, but for the most part we travel around, we play theaters and do different shows playing somebody else's music and covering them to a T. I've been into music since I was like real little. I remember the first time I ever saw a rock band. I think I was about 6 or 7 years old, and it was my uncle's band, and they would always get together in the garage and they would practice. And I just remember one time like stumbling out to the garage and hearing them and just being like, wow, like I want to do that. And so, I mean, that was kind of like my first introduction to rock music. As far as like how long like I've been playing or how long I've been interested in music, I mean, my whole life, my parents introduced me to an assortment of different things, from jazz to classical to rock to blues and everything in between. And then I mean, throughout the years of just different lessons and different people I've met, I've just been exposed to a lot of things. I think I've been truthfully playing instruments since I was about 13 years old, and I'm 28 now, just to give you a little bit of an intro on how long that's been. So my big thing is I like to have a full schedule. Personally, I like to keep myself busy because it helps me hit deadlines, and more often than not, I try to make sure that everything that I need done for the day is going to be done before I leave the school. Getting my work done is kind of like the number one, and there have been times where, you know, I won't go to practice if I'm not ready for the next day of work. Music is fun. Music can be something that can make a lot of money, but it doesn't usually, and so you have to, you know, realize that music is always going to be there and that certain things do come first. I would love to do music as a career. I mean, even when I was a child, that was like my dream, was to be like little Mr. Rockstar. I actually, I'm very happy with the balance that I have. I'm luckier than most in the way that, you know, I get to play these theaters and I have the opportunity to play these big venues and these cool shows. But I don't think I would change it. I think I've got that perfect level of I have a career that I love and I can't wait to get to every day, and I have that secondary, like what I like to do outside of my career. Having that balance of the two really just makes for you know, makes for a good life.
Keep rocking out, Mr. Baranowski.
Some of our own Lake Central teachers participated in the Red for Ed rally. Let's go check it out.
Why we have to fight. Education is a right. That is why we have to fight. Education is a right. That is why we have to fight. Education is a right. That is why we have to fight.
So Red for Ed is an active movement towards trying to help with the education crisis that's going on in Indiana, because if people are unaware, teacher salaries are some of the lowest in Indiana compared to every other state in the United States. We're actually ranked 51st in teacher salaries. That includes all 50 states and Washington, D.C. We're one of the lowest states for funding for education, which is money that would go to students to help lower class sizes, improve programs, all sorts of stuff. And since Lake Central schools didn't close today, all the schools in our corporation are doing Red for Ed walk-ins today to try to show solidarity with all the teachers down in Indy.
Some of LC's very own teachers had the opportunity to attend the state rally in Indianapolis.
I drove down to Indy with Mrs. Bessich, who's an English teacher here as well. She's actually the department head. And then we met up with a lot of teachers from Highland. The rally was awesome. It was super crowded in a good sense though, but it was overwhelming, I will say. We knew it was a big crowd. We knew there was a lot of people going, but actually walking in the middle of it, being stuck in the streets with all these people around you, it was an experience like no other. Obviously we expected to see a lot of teachers, but it was amazing to see how many students came out to support, and even as we were walking down the roads, just local businesses coming out and showing support and honking horns, shaking hands, all of that. It was a really incredible experience.
Students and staff at Lake Central created a way for all of the schools in the corporation to show their support for the movement.
I have the opportunity to serve as a sponsor for FCCLA, and that stands for Family, Career, Community Leaders of America. Public education is a concern for a lot of people in the Tri-Town area, and we were doing some brainstorming of what would be some simple ways affordable ways that we could support public education. It started out with our FCCLA group being willing to cut red ribbons and put little safety pins on them. And we thought if we could provide a jar of red ribbons to all of the schools within Lake Central, including Campania and TAP, and also our central office, then we could encourage parents, staff, everybody to wear red for public education and support.
We just want to make the world a better place for our students.
But being unified with your fellow teachers, with your students, that's something we always have the choice to do, and it's something that I realized the majority of teachers in Indiana, that's our purpose.
Education really is very important, and Lake Central does an overall very good job at providing quality education for their students. You know, you bloom where you're planted, you make the most of it, right?
Show some support by wearing red for Ed.
Now let's head over to Crown Point with Bree and Josh.
Kemshaw Donuts is a donut shop in the Crown Point Square. This donut shop also sells comics, which are displayed all around the shop. They have a variety of different donuts, including dessert donuts. Their donuts are made fresh every morning. The shop also sells pastries, seasonal cakes, and coffees and juices. Today, we decided to check out a few of their donuts.
What's up, Elsie? I'm Bree Cosina.
And I'm Josh Burnett, and we're back with another Region Gems.
Today we decided to check out Kemshaw Donuts in Crown Point Square.
So we got a couple donuts, and we're going to let you guys know what we think of them.
The first donut I got is the Oreo donut.
And I got the cream cheese chocolate donut.
And then we also got a maple donut.
We're going to munch on these donuts a bit, and we'll let you guys know what we think.
So we're back. And the best donut that I tried was the maple donut. I really liked the Oreo one, but it didn't taste that much like Oreo.
Yeah, I was a big fan of mine, you know, had that chocolate flavor and the sweet cream cheese flavor that you'd, you know, expect from a dessert. I'd give it, you know, a solid 8 out of 10. What would you give yours, Bree?
I'd give the Oreo one a solid 8 out of 10, and then the maple one a 9 out of 10. If you like donuts, be sure to check them out.
That's all the time we have for this week, LC. I'm Josh Burnett.
And I'm Bree Cosina.
See you next time.
That's it for today, LC, but before we go,
What's up, Lake Central? I'm Yusuf Namari.
And I'm Riley Nestrick, and we're your social media editors.
Make sure you follow Lake Central on all of our social media platforms.
You can follow us on Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Catch you later, Elsie.
I'm Samantha Miserly.
And I'm Charming Janowski.
And we'll see you next week, Elsie.